Auggie and Me. The Shingling Chapter. How We Played Truth or Dare. The day I found out that my dad died, Summer said. The three of us were lying in our sleeping bags on the floor in Zima's bedroom. The ceiling lights had been turned off, but the red, chilly Christmas lights that were strung all around the room gave the walls a pink glow in the dark. Our pajamas glowed pink. Our faces glowed pink. It was the perfect lighting for telling secrets and talking about things you would never talk about in the daylight. We were playing a truth or dare game, and the truth card that Summer had drawn read, "What was the worst day of your life?" My first instinct had been to put the card back and tell her to draw another one, but she didn't seem to mind answering it. I was in Mrs. Bob's class when my mom and grandma came to get me, she continued quietly. I thought that they were taking me to the dentist, since I'd lost a tooth that morning. But the second we got inside our car, my grandma started to cry. And then Mom told me that they'd just found out that Dad had been killed in action. "Daddy's in heaven now," she said. And then we all just cried and cried in the car, like these huge, unstoppable tears. She was fidgeting with the zipper of her sleeping bag as she talked, not looking at us. Anyway, that was the worst day. Zima shook her head. "I can't even imagine what that must be like," she said quietly. "Me neither," I said. "It's kind of a blur now, actually," answered Summer, still pulling at the zipper. "Like, I honestly don't remember his funeral at all. The only thing I remember about that day is this picture book about dinosaurs that I was reading. There was this one illustration of a meteor striking across the sky over the heads of the Triceratops. I remember thinking my dad's death was like that. It's like the extinction of the dinosaurs. A meteor hits your heart and changes everything forever. But you're still here. You go on." She finally got the zipper unstuck and pulled it up all the way to close her sleeping bag. "But anyway," she said. "I remember your dad," I said. "Yeah?" she said, smiling. "He was tall," I answered, "and he had a really deep voice." Summer nodded happily. "My mom told me all the moms thought he was so handsome," I said. Summer opened her eyes wide. "Aw," she said. We were quiet again for a few seconds. Summer started straightening up the card decks. "Okay, whose turn is it now?" she asked. "I think it's mine," I answered, flicking the spinner. It landed on truth, so I pulled a card from the truth deck. "Oh, this one's so lame," I said, reading aloud. "What superpower would you like to have and why?" "That's fun," said Summer. "I want to fly, of course," I answered. "I could go anywhere I want, zoom around the world, go to all these places Zima lived in." "Oh, I think I'd want to be invisible," said Zima. "I wouldn't," I answered. "Why?" "So I could hear what everyone says about me behind my back, and know that everyone thinks I'm such a phony." "Oh, no," Zima laughed. "Not this again." "I'm teasing, you know." "I know," she said, "but for the record, no one thinks that you're a phony." "Thank you." "Just a faker." "Ha!" "But you do care too much about what people think of you," she said, somewhat seriously. "I know," I answered just as seriously. "Okay, it's your turn, Zima," said Summer. Zima flicked the spinner, and it pointed to truth. She picked up a card and read it to herself, and then groaned. If you could go out with any boy in your school, who would it be?" she read aloud. She covered her face with her hand. "What?" I said. "Wouldn't it be Miles?" Zima started laughing and shook her head, embarrassed. "Whoa!" Summer and I both said, pointing at her. Who?" Zima was laughing. It was hard to see in the dim light, but I'm pretty sure she was blushing. "If I tell you, you have to tell me your secret crushes," she said. "Not fair, not fair," I answered. "Yes, fair," she said. "Fine." "Amos," she said, sighing. "No way," said Summer, her mouth wide open. "Does Ellie know?" "Of course not," said Zima. "It's just a crush. I wouldn't do anything about it. Besides, he's not into me at all. He really likes Ellie." I thought about that. How just a few months ago, Ellie and I would talk about Jack. Having a boyfriend seemed like such a far-off thing back then. Zima looked at me. I think I know who Charlotte's crush is, she said in a sing-song way. I covered my face. Everybody knows. Thanks to Ellie, I said. What about you, Summer? Asked Zima, poking Summer's hand. Yeah, Summer, what about you? I asked. Summer was smiling, but she shook her head no. Come on, said Zima, pulling Summer's pinky. There's got to be someone. Fine, she said. She hesitated. Reed. Reed? Said Zima. Who's Reed? He's in Mr. Brown's class with us, I answered. Very quiet. Draws sharks? He's not exactly popular, said Summer, but he's really nice, and I think he's very cute. Ooh, said Zima. Of course I know who Reed is. Duh. He's totally cute. He is, right? Said Summer. You'd make a great couple, said Zima. Maybe someday, answered Summer. I don't want to be a couple yet. Is that why you didn't want to go out with Julian? Asked Zima. I didn't want to go out with Julian because Julian's a jerk, Summer answered quickly. But you weren't really sick on Halloween, right? Said Zima at Savannah's party. Summer shook her head. I wasn't sick. Zima nodded. I thought so. Okay, I have a question, I said to Zima, but it's not from the cards. Oh? Said Zima, raising her eyebrows and smiling. Okay. I hesitated. Okay, when you say you're going out with Miles, what does that really mean? Like, what do you do? Charlotte, said Summer, smacking my arm with the back of her hand. Zima started laughing. No, I just mean, I said. I know what you mean, Zima said, grabbing my fingers. All it means is that Miles meets me at my locker after school every day, and he walks me to the bus stop sometimes. We hold hands. Have you ever kissed him? I asked. Zima made a face, like she was sucking on a lemon. She wasn't wearing her contacts now, just big tortoise-framed glasses, as well as a retainer she was supposed to wear at night. She didn't look at all like Zima Chin that we're used to seeing at school. Just once, at the Halloween party. Did you like it? I asked. I don't know, she answered, smiling. It was a little like kissing your arm. Have you ever done that? Kiss your arms? Summer and I obediently kissed our arms. Then we started giggling. Oh, Jack, I said, making slurpy noises while I kissed myself up and down my wrist. Oh, Reed, said Summer, doing the same thing. Oh, Miles, said Zima, kissing her wrist. I mean Amos. We were cracking up. Mija, Zima's mom said, knocking on the door. She poked her head in. I don't want the baby to wake up. Can you keep it down a little? Sorry, Mommy, Zima said. Good night, girls, she said sweetly. Good night, we whispered. Sorry. Should we go to sleep now? I said softly. No, let's just be much quieter. Come on, I think it's your turn, Summer. Truth or dare? I have another question that's not on the card, too, said Summer, pointing to Zima. For you. Uh-oh, you guys are ganging up on me, laughed Zima. We haven't done any dares yet, I pointed out. Okay, this is a dare, said Summer. You have to sit at my lunch table on Monday, and you can't tell anyone why. Oh, come on, said Zima. I can't just ditch my table without saying why. Exactly, answered Summer. So choose truth. Fine, said Zima. What's the truth? Summer looked at her. Okay, truth. If Savannah, Ellie, and Gretchen hadn't gone skiing this weekend, would you have still asked Charlotte and me to a sleepover? Zima rolled her eyes. Oh, she puffed her cheeks out like a fish. You look like Mrs. Antanaby now, I pointed out. Come on, truth or dare? Summer pressured her. Okay, fine, Zima said finally, hiding her face behind her hands. It's true. I probably wouldn't have. Sorry. She peeked out from us from behind her fingers. I was supposed to go skiing with them this weekend, but I didn't think it was worth possibly twisting my ankle or something right before the dance, so I canceled at the last minute, and then I invited you guys over." "Aha!" said Summer, poking Xena in the shoulder. "I knew it. We were your plan B for this weekend." I started poking her too. "I'm sorry," said Zima, laughing because we had started tickling her. "But it doesn't mean I don't want to hang out with you guys too." "Have you had any other sleepovers in the last month?" Summer asked. We were tickling her a lot at this point. "Yes," she giggled. "I'm sorry. I didn't invite you to those either. I'm not good at mixing my friend groups. I'll get better next year, I promise." "Do you even like Savannah?" I said, giving her one last poke. Zima made a face that I realized was a perfect imitation of Savannah's "ew" expression. Now, Summer and I started laughing. "Shh," said Zima, patting the air to remind us to keep quiet. "Shh," said Summer. "Shh," I said. We all settled down. "Okay, I have to admit," Zima said quietly, "she's been really annoying ever since I started spending time with you guys rehearsing. She was so mad when she wasn't picked for the dance." "Probably mad that I got picked instead of her," said Summer. "Actually, no, she was mad at Charlotte," answered Zima, pointing her thumb at me. "I knew it," I said. Zima leaned her head on one shoulder. She said, and this is her talking, not me, "that you always get the good parts in shows at Beecher Prep because the teachers know you were in TV commercials when you were little, and that you try really hard to always be a teacher's pet." "What the heck?" I said, stupefied. "That is the craziest thing I've ever heard." Zima shrugged. "I'm just telling you what she told me and Ellie." "But Ellie knows that's not true," I said. "Trust me," said Zima. "Ellie never says anything to contradict Savannah." "I don't get why she's always hated me," I said, shaking my head. "Savannah doesn't hate you," Summer answered, reaching over to take Zima's glasses off of her face. "I think, if anything, she's always probably been a little jealous of you and Ellie being best friends." "Really?" I said. "Why?" Summer shrugged. She tried on Zima's glasses. "Well, you know, you and Ellie tended to be kind of cliquey. I think Savannah probably felt a little left out." This had never, ever occurred to me. "I had no idea that anyone ever felt that way," I said. "I mean, seriously. No idea. Are you sure? Do other people feel this way? Did you?" Summer let the glasses fall to the tip of her nose. "Kind of, but I wasn't in any of your classes, so I didn't care. Savannah was in all of your classes." "Wow," I said, biting the inside of my cheek, which is a nervous habit I have. "I wouldn't worry about it, though," said Summer, putting Zima's glasses on my face now. "It doesn't matter anymore. You look really good in those." "I don't want Savannah to hate me, though," I said. "Why do you care so much about what Savannah thinks?" asked Zima. "Don't you care about what she thinks?" I asked. "Let's face it, you are different when you're around her, too." "That's true," said Summer, taking the glasses off my face. She started cleaning them with her pajama top. "You're much nicer when you're not with her," I said. Zima was twisting her hair with her finger. "Everyone's a little mean in middle school, don't you think?" "No," said Summer, putting the glasses back on Zima's face. "Not even a little?" answered Zima, raising her right eyebrow. "No," Summer repeated, adjusting the glasses so they were straight. "No one has to be mean. Ever." She leaned back to inspect the glasses. "Well, that's what you think because you're a saint," teased Zena. "Oh my gosh, if you call me on that one more time," Summer laughed, tossing her pillow at Zima. "Summer Dawson, did you not just hit me with my favorite 800 fill power European white goose down pillow, did you?" said Zima, standing up slowly. She picked up her own super fluffy pillow and raised it in the air. "Is that a challenge?" Summer asked, standing and holding her pillow up like a shield. I stood up excitedly, holding my pillow in the air. "Pillow fight," I said, a little too loudly because I was excited. "Shh," Zima said, holding her finger over her mouth to remind me to keep it down. "Silent pillow fight," I whispered loudly. We went one long second looking at each other to see who would strike first, and then we just started going at it. Zima brought her pillow down to Summer. Summer struck her from below. I made a long sideways sweep at Zima. Then Zima came up and swung at me from the left, but Summer spun around and struck us both